Hello, once again, third part of the first day's session. Right. So we were talking about how to build a perfect library on Mendeley. So we have used several functions which were available for us from the file menu and all other references we have done. Say, for example, you are having several papers which you wanted to drag and drop there. When you are trying to drag and drop there, just for example, these are the papers which are available to my folder. There are several papers. Why papers are rejected is one paper. How do we develop a quality research article? These are the two papers I wanted to add to the Mendeley library. So you can select these two or n number of papers, then simply drag and drop them from here to Mendeley, and you can see now. Earlier there were only two papers, but right now there are four papers. This is the second method of adding your papers manually. You might be more interested in a auto mode than any other way. Manual are generally do not preferred by the researchers. Say, for example, you can search several papers which are related to customer loyalty. Hit enter. And you can see these are the number of papers which are available for my reference. After reading all these papers, I find they could be quite I need to add all of them except a few. I need to add all of them to my folder, which is titled as Ramanujan EDP. So how to add these papers on this folder? Simply click on this Mendeley plugin. Once you click on Mendeley plugin, if you're doing it first time, probably this might ask you to log in using your ID password credentials. For me, yes, this has by default got my email ID because this has been logged in on other screen also. In a minute, you will be able to see all these papers in the list. But before moving at selecting all these papers to the list, just drag and drop this and find this folder. You wanted to add these papers to Ramanujan EDP. Click on the Ramanujan EDP. Click on select all. You can see for several papers, PDF have not found, but for several papers, PDF is available. All these papers where PDF is not available, this will give you an indication. All these papers where PDF is available, this will give you that indication also. And while looking at this list, you have found like this web page should have been removed, or this paper is also not important. You do not want to add this to your drive, add this to your Mendeley library. Yeah. Finally, click on add. Right, you will be able to see this has started processing, adding. One is added in reference, right? These are the things which have already started adding to my Mendeley library. Once I click on Mendeley library, you'll be able to see nothing on this, nothing on here. Might be thinking only four papers are still here, and sir is saying everything has been included. Just click on sync button once. Here is the sync button. So just click on sync button and you can see this has started processing about syncing. 27% retrieved, 60% retrieved. All these papers, you can see their list. Their PDF will also appear wherever PDF is available. Wherever PDF is not available, you won't be able to download them from Google Scholar at least. 72%, uploading 9 of 84. Some PDF files might be heavier than expected. Maybe. What should be the first task of you once your library is set up? Once you think you're able to download everything here, what should be the first task after that? Just click on this paper and see whether the meta information is correct. If it is not correct, correct it. This is the only task which might take several good stuff or good amount of time. Otherwise, now you can see this paper's information is missing. Simply double click on this paper. Okay, this is, I think I've added a paper which I was reviewing by mistake. I'll just cross it. That is why this information is not available. I should remove it from here. Now, just double check. Alan C. Dick, Kunal Basu are the authors. Dick, Alan S. and Kunal Basu are the authors. Customer loyalty towards the integrated concept and all that thing. Number of volume, issue, year, everything is available. Surprisingly, Mendeley offers you one more very interesting tool, very interesting trick, which is generally not available to all other PDF readers. So you might be using for reading these papers, you might be opening these papers to the Acrobat reader, PDF Acrobat reader, Adobe Acrobat reader, or maybe some advanced softwares also. But what is the challenge? Once you select something, highlight something, annotate something, make several notes there, the challenge will be to save it as a new file and then save it as a new file. So if you have studied a paper, you are able to complete this paper, completely read a paper in 3 days. So there will be 4 versions of the same paper and you will be confused what to do now. Mendeley does not restrict. Say, for example, I find this part is interesting to understand. Simply select the color, multiple color codes. Click on highlight. Done. Present paper status and this and that. Click on, say, for example, red color. Highlight. Right. This model is interesting and a framework of customer utility. You are trying to use this for your paper. Highlight in purple. Not necessarily to change color. You can change an article into the same color for multiple times. Right, relative attitude. This is the part which indicates about the definition. You can again select yes, yellow, and sorry, and then cross it. Look at the second paper, customer loyalty strategy. Now, this is the paper where you'll have to do several corrections. Customer loyalty and customer loyalty strategies. This is the title. No, title is customer loyalty strategies. Correct it. Look at the name of authors. Dennis L. Duffy. It's only Duffy. The name of the journal is Journal of Consumer Marketing. Journal of Consumer Marketing. Year is 1998. Page number 453, sorry, 435 to 448. 435 to 448. Volume 15, issue 5. Introduction, abstract is not given. Probably this is a research note or something. That is why abstract is not there otherwise. So these type of screening, and this is the only task which takes time in Mendeley. Once we go back to our previous article, you will be able to see your paper is well organized. You need not to click on Control S, or you need not to forget, like you forgot to use saving everything. Everything will be by default saved. And this is how you can make your library. This is how you can make your library. Once you are ready with the library, you are ready for referencing, ready for writing a reference. So this is one part. This is one way of looking at it. Managing your library takes a huge amount of time because this is the only task which is relevant, which helps you in extracting accurate information. So now everything is ready. Everything is available at 4-5 platforms at least: Mendeley Desktop, Mendeley Web, Android, on my mobile phone. So once I was traveling and I recall there was a paper which I studied and I just wanted to make a revision on that, what those line and everything. Likewise, you can also see these are the papers which are missing. Like these papers are not having years right now, but once you double click here, and you can see this paper was published in 1996. Correct the name of author. Everything should have been corrected. If you have not corrected them well, probably you will be having several missing information while you will be developing your reference. One more interesting feature by Mendeley, which I again loved most. So say, for example, one of your folder is having multiple papers and you are not able to recall that correct file, and you think there was one variable which talks about this. You think there is one thing or there were two things. Maybe you are trying to establish something with sample. Just type, search in here sample. So whatever number of papers were there with the term sample, you will be able to see them. And even highlighted version. Just double click on this. No PDF is available, but double click on this. You will see where is the sample written. What was the sample size? Sample was 500. If you can recall any incident out of that paper, you can search within the PDF, which is very interesting in this case. This facility, I'm not talking about other reference management system, but general Windows does not offer this facility to search within the PDF. They can search something in the name of that PDF, in the name of that paper, but what is hidden in that paper, they generally do not respond with that. Right? So this is one way. How do we look at these paper? Once your library is set up, once your library is good to go, you can open a Word file or simply, just for example, say for example, you are having several text here. Now you wanted to create a reference on this. What should be the best way to write a reference? Say for example, this one tab, reference, and you can see here Mendeley cytometric. Correct. So say for example, I thought to create a citation here. Click on insert citation. And this was a paper by, say for example, Dwivedi. Click on Dwivedi. Okay. And you will see Dwivedi et al. 2020. Let me recall several other. Duffy is there. Gel is there. Duffy, we are having two papers, customer loyalty strategy and Duffy customer loyalty strategies. Probably they are the two same papers. We have downloaded them from the same source. Uncles is there. Right. So say for example, this paragraph was having two citations to work on. I need not to open a bracket, where to put the comma, where to put the full stop. Nothing need to be done. I'll simply click on insert citation. Duffy, one paper. Uncles, Jill, these three need to be cited there. Now you can see they have been alpha, but there was several information was missing here. Year was not given. That is why uncles, we can see marketing 1998, which is incorrect. So if my data meta information could have been correct, there could have been no problem observed here. Correct. So this is one. And now finally, you are trying to make a list of your references. Simply go down wherever you are trying to make your reference and click on insert bibliography. You can see these were the 4 papers which were there. Say for example, after a few minutes or after a few hours or after a few days, I change there is one more citation, click one more insert citations. There is a paper, say for example, I can add my own paper, internal marketing, then my own paper on new education policy. Okay, you can see this R Kaurav again, meta information was incorrect, but these are the papers which have been added here also. Right now, somebody is asking you, why not you make a citation in American Medical Association? Just click on there. You will be able to see their name has disappeared now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? You will be able to see once somebody asked me to make a referencing in IEEE. You can see there is a different style here. There is a different style here. Everything is being changed now. MLA method, nature method, whatever, or even there are, as I said in the beginning, n amount of styles are available. These are the formats. Right now I've selected IEEE, but there is some more styles. I can write down their URLs and then can download them. Different abbreviations into the URL. How do they use them in URL? Or even you can create your own referencing styles also. Journal editor can create their own referencing styles also. That will also help. Right? So this is how we need to see, we need to look at this reference. These many references, citations, and all that with our particular ideology. Correct? So that is about, this is in brief about how to use Mendeley for starting your literature. In the next session, we'll be talking about how to exactly use Mendeley. We'll see a live demonstration looking at one paper and then how that information could have been converted into the Word document and how that could have been utilized with the different ways and different means. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you today evening for a doubt clearing class. Thank you.